What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at a couple of One Piece promos that have gone and been revealed. They are coming in the next couple issues of Weekly Shonen Jump, and oh my word, is this awesome. One important point to note, Weekly Shonen Jump generally doesn't actually have One Piece promos in. Now, I say generally because there are always exceptions with this. I can think of one that did have a promo, and it was one that came out last August when I was actually out in Japan. I just walked into a shop and bought this, which was weird, but it did have the Luffy sitting on the One Piece promo, which was awesome. So it has happened before, but generally it's V-Jump and Shonen Jump. That's generally, and again, general rule, not a guarantee, but that is generally what tends to happen here. It is unusual. But there's two coming in the next two issues 45 and 46 of this year, and they are Shanks and they are Buggy. And here's the deal, right? The Shanks is pretty cool. The Buggy is potentially game-changing. Like, the Shanks is a cool promo. The Buggy is actually legit. And look, I just want one of these. I want one of these from a promo binder because I collect Japanese promos. Numbered Japanese promos, not all the old hearts, I'm not rich. But numbered Japanese promos, I've got a nice little collection going. I need one of these Buggy. And I'm genuinely worried the Buggy might be a bit too good. And no, I don't think I'm exaggerating here. Now, the Shanks is a decent enough card. 6 cost, 7,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on X1, when attacking, you may trash a character card from your hand. Remember, it's in bold before a colon, so you have to activate the rest of the skill. And up to one of your opponent's characters gets minus 1,000 power this turn, and then you draw a card. It's card draw, and it's lowering power, but you have to trash a character card from your hand, and it does specifically say character card, so it does have to be a character card you trash from your hand. And I have seen some translations shared around of this that just say trash a card from your hand, but I have double checked this, I've done the translation myself, it is most definitely a character card. Which is worse, of course, because sometimes you might have an event card you're willing to trash, but not actually have a character card, and that would frankly be a lot worse. And the minus 1,000 power is good, drawing a card is good, but Don X1 and trash a card from your hand. I like lowering power, I love the card draw. One Piece is not a game with amazing card draw. I don't mind putting a Don on there a lot of the time, you're going to be an 8k character. So yeah, this has utility in red decks, absolutely it does. I'm just not sure it's quite good enough. Having said that, remember, we're in OP09 in Japan right now, and they do this thing, and it's a pretty standard thing, where promos released match up with current leaders that are out in the most recent set. So here we're in OP09 in Japan, so this is clearly a card which is designed to go with the Shanks leader. Remember, the leader Shanks has once per turn. When your opponent attacks, your opponent's leader or one of their characters loses 1,000 power for the turn. Okay. And then there's a bunch of other red head pirate cards in OP09 that also lower power. So the whole lowering power by 1,000 does fit with the theme of that deck, which is a decent deck over in Japan. Wait, no, that's underselling it. It's the best deck in Japan right now. In the current metagame, we haven't had a big tournament, so slow your roll a little bit, but it really looks like Shanks is the best leader in the game right now, the best deck in the game. This is a decently powerful character that can draw and lower power. It's decent, it's not phenomenal, but it's decent. Also, you might be wondering about the art style here. This is drawn by Yuto Suzuki, who is the mangaka behind Sakamoto Days. That's kind of the hook of these cards. They are cards drawn by manga artists whose works appear in Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Jump. That's kind of the point here. So in the same way we had the Chopper, drawn by the artist from Me and Roboco, which is a really cool card, incidentally, we've got new things going on here, where we've got these characters drawn by other manga artists, and I frankly think that is wonderful. Awesome. So I keep telling you how good I think this Buggy is. Why do I think this Buggy is so good? Well, it's 7 cost, 8,000 power blue. Again, obviously designed to fit with the Buggy from OP09, like I said for Shanks. And also, like I said for Shanks, what we've got here is a really nice stylized alternate art, although it's a standard copy, you know what I mean? The art is very different to normal because it is drawn by Kyosuke Usuta, who of course is the mangaka behind Sexy Commando Gaiden. Sugoyo Masaru-san. I love this. I think this is fantastic. Taking these other manga artists and having them lend their style to One Piece characters, I think is great. But what does this Buggy do? Why won't I stop telling you how much I like it and actually tell you what it does? Well, first of all, it says this character can't attack. Bad start, frankly. You got an 8k body that can't attack. Boo. However, if your leader is Buggy, and you're playing this with Buggy, let's be clear, all 3 and 4 cost characters cannot attack. Not just yours, also your opponent's. This is a game-changing ability. Okay, fine, this Buggy can't attack, but you can turn off like whole decks here, pretty much. Oh, and then there's another skill as well. On play, you may play a 6 cost or lower cross-skilled character from your hand. And remember, one of the absolute best cards in that Buggy deck is the, well, Buggy, but the character Buggy, not the leader. And this is the one whereby 10 cost 12,000 power, and on play, you get to put any one of your opponent's characters back to the bottom of their deck, which is awesome. But then if you don't have 5 cost or higher characters in play, you have to put this card to the bottom of your deck as well, which is frankly not ideal. So the whole point of the Buggy deck is you're trying to get and keep 5 cost or higher characters in play at all times. Well, this is a 7 cost, but it's not really a 7 cost, it's also a 6 or 5 cost. You're not going lower than 5, let's be clear. So actually this makes perfect sense, because now you get 2 characters out for the price of 1, which is helping out your character Buggy, which is huge. Oh yeah, and then you're also turning off 3 and 4 cost characters. Now the very first thing I did when I saw this skill was go to the Buggy deck list that I've got saved on my computer that I've seen people winning with in Japan, and have a look at this. Okay, fine, there's 2 copies of Marguerite, that's a 3 cost. But it's also a blocker, so you honestly don't even have to cut that from your deck because it's a blocker. And it's only a 2k anyway, so you're probably not attacking with it. But look at all your attackers. They're all 5 cost. Well, of course they're all 5 cost. I just told you about character Buggy that needs 5 cost or higher. The entire point of the Buggy deck is to get 5 cost or higher characters out and keep 5 cost or higher characters out so that you can play the 10 cost Buggy and keep it on the board. That's the point of the deck. So your smaller characters here, like Kaya, like Mr. Free, like Marguerite, they're not attackers. You're playing them for draw, or for search, or for blocking. You're not hurting yourself with this Buggy skill. You are hurting your opponent with this Buggy skill, and that is why this is such a great character. No, you can't attack, but honestly, you probably don't want to attack with Buggy. What you really want to do with Buggy is play it, make sure it is always active so it's not a viable target to be attacked, and then sit there while your opponent cannot attack with their 3 and 4 cost characters. Yes, I'm aware that decks play removal and your opponent is absolutely going to be trying to remove Buggy here, but I also know that Buggy is a 7 cost 8,000 power character. Removal ain't going to be easy. And then you've just got this phenomenal character that's just turning off like giant chunks of your opponent's deck. Because I said Shanks was probably the best deck in the format right now, right? So if we have a look at a winning Shanks list, for example, again, I'm not guaranteeing every list is exactly like this, alright? These are just examples. But if you look at a Shanks list, there are 3 and 4 cost characters. Is it the whole deck? No, absolutely not. But you're taking a bunch of their deck and making it basically worthless, making it into counter, assuming they've got a counter, and that's it. It means that they've got their support characters that aren't going to be attacking anyway. A lot of their mid-range characters are pointless. You know, this Shanks list has got 12 characters now that can't be attacking. Brilliant. And then it's when they get to their higher characters, which means they're going to have fewer options, which are going to take longer to get in play. They're going to get fewer attackers in play, etc., etc. That's what makes this so good. And then, of course, there are some decks around. For instance, Doflamingo is one that a lot of people are talking about, where they're just playing a lot of 3 and 4 cost characters. And again, if we look at the leader, this all makes perfect sense, because the Doflamingo leader's got that skill whereby Don X2, pay 1, and then you get to look at the top card of your deck, and if it is a 7 Warlords of the Sea character of a cost of 4 or less, you may play that card rested. Which means a majority of the main attackers in your Doflamingo deck are going to be 4 cost characters, maybe some 3 cost as well, so that they can be played for free. So now all of a sudden you're basically saying, hey, you can't attack with 3 and 4 cost characters, make sure you use your 5 or above. And the Doflamingo players go, well, I don't do 5 or above, because I can't play them for free on my leader skill, so I'm not playing them. And that's my point, ladies and gentlemen. All of a sudden, I mean, this seems to basically auto-win Doflamingo. Sure, they'll be playing some removal and they'll be trying to get you off the board and all of that, fine. But, look at these Doflamingo decks. They're playing a bunch, this one on the board right here, it is literally a whole bunch of 4-cost characters and then to 1-cost support. And sure, obviously, they can just go, ha 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 ha. I'll just play some bigger characters. Yeah, but that's not what your deck's supposed to do. And that's my point here. You're making them play in a way they don't really want to. This is a phenomenal card, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is too good to be a magazine promo. Like, genuinely, I don't see how you're not playing this in Buggy decks. A lot of the time I see these magazine promos and I'm like, oh, they're pretty cool. They could see some play. But I look at this and I'm just like, why would you not play this? It's a 5 cost or higher it's a 7 cost that lets you play a 6 cost as well and turns off entire decks. Which means a lot of people are going to be rushing to buy 4 copies of Weekly Shonen Jump so that they can get a play set of this. And that's going to make it really awkward. I am imagining I'm going to pay massively over I'm still going to do it because I want a copy for my binder. I've got to have all the promos. But I imagine I'm going to either have to get there the second it goes up for pre-order, or I am going to have to pay over the odds here. I genuinely think this card is too good to be a magazine promo. Either way, it's a game changer that makes Buggy much better. And for what it's worth, if I haven't said it explicitly, this will help you against a lot of matchups. But some matchups like Doflamingo, which is a very relevant deck in the OP09 meta and is seeing a bunch of play and success, this will basically auto-win it. Yeah, it's great. Okay, I've told you what you need to know, and now it's over to you guys. Do you think this Buggy is as good as I do, or am I overblowing it? Do you think this Shanks is pretty cool? Tell me what you think about the different artists. And also, if you're up to date with the manga, just look at this art from Buggy, and then it's actually kind of hilarious when you see it. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossie Plays.